We don't mean to brag, but this is a legendary show. One of the greats in linebacker U history, Paul Posluszny, joins us for our Impact interview. Actually, two of the all-time best are with us as Sean Lee checks into the lineup and tells us he soaked up everything he could from Paul.
And I just drafted off him. I slept on his couch. I think I remember I probably didn't want me there half the time, but I slept on his couch. I ate his food. I followed everything he did.
We call an audible in our scrap metal segment and give it to Scrap himself. Why a former Heisman runner-up and first-team All-American are sending their congrats to Coach Bradley. And listen here, Buster. I bet you think you're pretty cute. Well, you're right. We put out the call for Pride Pooches, and the viewers delivered. Let's get the second half of the season started with Nittany Game Week. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nittany Game Week. Hope you enjoyed the bye. Let's see, I battled with spotted lanternflies, got a haircut, went on a day hike. That's my list. I assume you two kept busy as well.
Tomatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes.
Friday, high school football.
Of course, it had something to do with football for you, right? Sure. Absolutely. And there were some good football games to watch over the weekend for sure. Saturday, Sunday, all that good deal. But Penn State, they're 5-1 at the midway point. We're back in football mode for the second half of the regular season. Let's go to the opening drive. Now, we know about the more serious injuries. It's the nagging ones that you don't see that really get a boost from the extra rest, fellas.
No question about it. And you get a chance to give a guy a day. Not only just the nagging injuries, but also mentally. It's a grind when you go 6 straight weeks. And so I think they'll benefit from that.
And I think the off week came at a perfect time for them this year of all years. Perfect for the time off.
Well, when you set up a schedule, you get 6 games, the bye week, another 6 games. I think they knew somebody when they made the schedule.
Well, it's amazing how many teams had bye weeks last week. Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, Illinois had one too as well.
But with certain injuries, this week's bye week came at a really good time.
Yeah,
absolutely. And Coach had some words about this particular bye week.
And doing everything he possibly can to put him in the best position to get back as soon as possible, whenever that may be. So we'll see, but it won't be because of a lack of effort on his part. He's going to do everything that he's supposed to do.
As Tom alluded to, Sean Clifford. Yeah, he's a veteran. He's been in this situation before. Of course, you want him as healthy as possible for the Ohio State game on the 30th.
Are you jumping ahead there, Todd?
A little bit.
The Illinois game. But, you know, Tom, we talk about bye weeks, and when you're struggling sometimes when you got Illinois like they are, sometimes guys take those bye weeks and they tweak some things, put a couple things in schematically, and make it tough for you coming against them.
Bye weeks are interesting because if you're on a roll, you hate them. Yep. And if you're not playing well, you love them. So this is going to be an interesting week for Penn State, obviously coming off the loss.
All right, and by the time they are back on the field against Illinois, it's going to be 2 weeks since the Iowa setback. Plenty of time to put the disappointment in the rearview mirror. That's done with productive time on the practice field to reassess and reaffirm those second half goals and plans. So what are you communicating to the players in a practice after a weekend off?
Well, you have a day or two. Sometimes you can work with younger guys, but then you tell them, guys, we got to get back in this thing. We got to put that game behind us, and we got to go out and play Illinois and play really, really well to set a tone for the next 6 weeks.
Most of the time, you're being highly critical of yourself during this time, and you have to, not only as players, but the coaches too. Hey, what can we do better? Let's look at ourselves first.
Yeah, that self-scouting aspect of it. We've mentioned a time or two the importance of senior leadership. Safety Jaquan Brisker says, don't worry, we're on it.
Not blaming each other or not being negative or anything like that, you know, just learn from a loss like this, you know, see what we could do to get better on offense, defense, special teams, things like that. And, you know, once we come back, you know, once we come together and things like that and learn, you know, we're going to be fine.
Brisker, definitely one of the guys who needed the rest to heal up from some nagging injuries. He's been exceptional this season. They need him on the field against the Big Ten's better offenses they are about to face in the coming weeks. All right, for this week's Scrap Metal, we're calling an audible. Had to throw Scrap off of our scent because we're giving it to him. Jay, explain.
Next week, Tom Bradley is going to the State Hall of Fame, Pennsylvania State Sports Hall of Fame, and an honor that's well-deserved. And we even rustled up a few things, surprise for you here, Tom.
There's a few people you may know with a message for you, Scrap. Listen up.
Hey, Scrap. Congratulations on being inducted into the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame. Well deserved. You were a great teammate and friend during our years at Penn State. I wish you the best.
Scrap, Cindy and I, the entire Zordich family, my folks on Hazelwood too, would like to congratulate you on your induction into the PA Sports Hall of Fame. Great stuff, man. Congrats and thanks for all you've done for our family throughout the years.
And look, there he is, pacing the sidelines. It's a kickoff. Everyone's watching the ball except for Tom, who's contemplating his next defense. Congratulations. Enjoy the night.
Thank you very much, you guys. That was a nice surprise.
Yeah, we threw a lot of other candidates for the scrap medal up this week just to try and get them off the scent, and we pulled it off.
Well, we had to throw you off the scent a little bit. Congrats. Well done.
Congrats.
Well deserved.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
All right, still to come, our scouting report on the Fighting Illini. Coach Bradley puts on his soon-to-be Hall of Fame hat and dives into the minds of the offensive coaches from Illinois. Coach Paterno shows us how they can attack with or without Sean Clifford. More Nittany Game Week after this.